Ever wished you had a more reliable and consistent way to land high-ticket clients using AI and sales automation? Welcome to the club. If you're overwhelmed by all these shiny AI tools like I was, sometimes it can feel near impossible to just have a clear roadmap when every guru is selling you a different thing. But here is the big truth that most entrepreneurs and freelancers that I talk to every single day miss. In order for you to actually break through and achieve financial freedom, you don't need to slave away your time and energy by relying on platforms that can ban you overnight or having to deal with clients who don't value your worth. You just need a repeatable and scalable way that works for you. But that's the big question. How do we do that? In today's video, I'm breaking down step by step the fastest way to go from zero to landing consistent 3 to 4K deals using AI and sales automation. You're finally getting a clear roadmap that actually works in 2025. So I want you to forget about everything, and I mean everything that other gurus are telling you to do. And if you implement these strategies, you cut through the noise and you finally see the lifestyle that you've been visualizing for years becomes your new reality. So without taking too much of your time, let's just go ahead and get started. So before we get started, I think it's pretty important to front load some of the credentials because you might be wondering, Saad, well, what makes you qualified to talk about this? Well, that's a valid question. And my answer to that is, well, I've bootstrapped a salesman agency called Myo Process, which is a salesman agency from zero to $80,000 a month in about 8 months after getting banned on Upwork with 2K frozen. So if I hadn't figured out how to use AI and sales automation, then I wouldn't exist. And I wouldn't be recording this video, right? So right now I'm building Myo Process Sequencer, which is essentially like instantly or smartly, basically like a cold email software. So if I had to go back in time, this is the fastest way I'd use to get a couple high-paying clients and eventually get to 10K a month using sales automation. Keep in mind, this is the only real way, right? The only real way to actually make money with AI and sales automation, okay? Just because it solves one big problem, which is connecting businesses with their ideal clients, right? And I always like to say this, businesses will always need clients just like us humans, right? We will always need food. See, my big problem with these automations and all these shiny AI tools that you see nowadays in your feed, all these automation that you see are completely useless just because the only thing that matters, right? The only thing that matters in AI and automation in general is, can this automation get me clients? If the answer is no, then just throw it away, okay? Just throw it away. So these tactics that I'm gonna be showing you in this video are not gonna include slaving away our time. We will be building a predictable way to actually make money using AI and automation, okay? So all of these tips will be practical. So I'll walk you through everything, the platforms, your investment, and how much return on investment you can actually expect. So what is the actual way to make money with AI and automation? Well, it's Outbound sales systems. And again, I always say this, you're one sales system campaign from your dream life because it's essentially what happened to me. So the easiest way to predictably and consistently land clients is Outbound sales systems. Just because Outbound simply gives you control, okay? Gives you control. You decide who to work with, when to work, and what to charge, okay? Think about it, like I got started at like 3K, now I'm charging 8K per sales system, okay? So Outbound is the only method where you can start with literally nothing and get results this week, okay? And I'm gonna show you step by step on how to do it, okay? Because this video is gonna be not just me talking and yapping, but it's also gonna be practical, okay? And I believe all my content is purely practical just because I don't like the idea of just showing you like basic theory like most people on YouTube. They just show you like basic theory, but they don't actually show you like how to actually do it and how to actually build that, you know? So like I said, Outbound is the only method where you can start with literally nothing and get results this week. And the cool part is now we have AI and automation, okay? But most people just don't know how to actually use it properly. So the cool part about the internet and AI, sales automation, all of that is that you can literally find any business owner on earth, learn about them, their company, who are their ideal clients, and do it at scale, okay? Can do it at scale with sales automation. And the crazier part is once you build a system, it runs 24/7 and it's going to bring you clients without having to slave away your time and energy, just like I was on Upwork and Fiverr and all of these platforms. And you don't have to worry about costly ads or having to wait 3 years for SEO to work. Okay. So the first thing we're going to tackle is going to be infrastructure. Now, to have a successful sales system campaign, you need to cover infrastructure, which is super, super important. And it's essentially the base and the vehicle that you will be using to get access to these ideal clients that are willing to pay you $3, $5K, or even $10,000 for your service. Okay. So even if you use AI and automation to write the best emails that are scary personalized, right? Because we're building outbound sales systems that are designed to connect businesses with their ideal clients at scale. If your email never reaches the recipient's primary inbox, then the email is worthless. Okay. So infrastructure is super, super important for sales systems. You might be able to succeed with shitty emails and great infrastructure, but you will never succeed with great emails if your infrastructure doesn't work. Okay. Now we might be wondering, Saad, well, what if I skipped all the infrastructure? Well, if you do, it's simple. You're going to land in spam. Okay. People won't read it. Therefore, they won't pay you. As simple as that. So to tackle this, what you need is multiple email accounts, because if you send too many emails from one account, your emails will end up in spam. Okay. And we don't want to do that. I believe you don't want to do that. Right. And the reason why is because these service providers like Gmail or Microsoft, they expect real people to send emails. Okay. And real people don't send thousands of emails every single day. Right. Now, what is the fastest way to get around this without having any headaches or just remove all that friction? Well, my friend, it is pre-warmed up emails. So the fastest way to get started is by using pre-warmed up email accounts. Okay. So normally, the usual route is you purchase domains and you warm them up over like 14 to 21 days. And you will have to set things like SPF, DKIM, DMARC. And essentially these are records that are essential whenever you purchase new domains. So if you want to skip all of that, what we can do is we can just use pre-warmed up emails. And the platforms that I recommend you use, I'm not affiliated with these guys, but if you guys are watching, I would love to. But I would recommend this platform. It's called Puzzle Inbox. And what they do is they essentially provide you with a warmed up inbox. So you can essentially just get started right away. Okay. So it's $3 per inbox and they have high deliverability. I'm currently using this in my campaigns and my clients' campaigns. And the deliverability is awesome. Okay. Just because they provide you with high quality US IPs. And they also set up like DKIM, DMARC, etc. for you. So you don't have to worry about it. And if you read this 6 to 12 hour delivery, they actually do this in like 2 hours, which is awesome. Another platform that I would recommend you use is going to be Premium Inboxes. And this is actually a service provider that I've used for a client of mine. It's called Companio. Shout out to you, my friend. And like the deliverability was great. Okay. Like they essentially just set up everything for me in like 2 hours. All you have to do is just basically pick the domains that you want and the email inboxes that you want, and they link everything to your cold email software in like 2 hours. And you can just basically get up and run as quickly as possible. Again, I'm not affiliated with these guys. The third platform that I'm going to walk you through is going to be Inboxology. Now, again, I've used this before, right? These are the 3 platforms that I would recommend you use. Essentially, don't use any other ones, just these 3, okay? Just because I've used at this point, I used like 20, and these are the best ones, okay? So again, these platforms provide you with high quality email accounts, and you can just use them. And the pricing is ridiculous. If you go to pricing, it's $3.50 per month, okay? So it's like $3 per email account, which is nothing. It's like peanuts, okay? So like I said, these platforms give you pre-warmed up inboxes that are already set up with everything you need. That means you can start sending emails right away without worrying about your emails going to spam or dealing with all this technical setup, okay? It's the quickest and easiest way to launch your sales system campaign in like a few hours, okay? So I would want you to get 12 email inboxes of Puzzle Inbox or Inboxology or Premium Inboxes, and it's going to cost you $44. So 12 email inboxes. Okay, so now that we've talked about the infrastructure that we're going to be using, now I want you to pick a niche, and it's preferably B2B. So I want you to pick a niche where you sell to other businesses, right? This is what B2B means. You sell to other businesses. Just because these type of clients usually need help more and often pay more, okay? Their typical deal size is like 100K on average. So it's easier to land deals and build something steady, okay? And trust me when I say this, in consulting with multiple 6 to 7 all the way 8-figure companies, like most of these companies don't have any idea how to actually use AI and how to actually use automation so they can get clients. And this is where you can come in and connect them with their ideal clients. Okay. Another reason to pick B2B is just easier to get data, right? It's so easy. Like you can easily find contacts like emails, phone numbers, and company profiles through platforms like LinkedIn, Apollo, Crunchbase, or even company websites. You can target specific decision makers, right? And if you go through my channel, there's like 100 niche, right? Like there's 100 B2B niche that I've targeted and I've built a specific sales system for them. So just go ahead through my channel and just watch everything. And I'm pretty sure you're going to land a client in like a few days. Okay. Another reason to pick B2B is just they have a clear ongoing needs for services or products, which makes it easier to pitch solutions. They also have higher value deals, meaning their average deal is like 100K. So even if you're working with fewer customers, the revenue per customer is usually higher, okay? So this is especially true in industries like software, IT, manufacturing, etc. Another thing, these companies are sharing everything. If you go through their LinkedIn, there's like their latest LinkedIn posts, their value proposition, what they offer, etc. So you can personalize this to the moon. It's essentially what I teach in this channel, okay? We want to have like a super personalized outreach using sales systems and AI, so it's easy for us to close deals. So many of these B2B companies openly share their success stories, their product, their partnerships. That means you can use AI to personalize everything in a way that feels illegal and scary. And here are some of the example B2B niches you might consider. It would be tech companies such as software, IT services. I would also recommend you go for recruitment. I've actually landed my first client in the recruitment space. I love recruitment. It's just they have like a very, very clear offer. Just because think about it, recruitment, what they want is they place candidates. So if you can just help them place one candidate, you can essentially make like 3 to 4K. Just because these recruitment companies, essentially, let's say this is an AI recruitment company. They typically have candidates such as software developer, software engineer in-house. And typically these software engineers get paid like 100K minimum per year. So these recruitment companies collect like 20 to 30% of the initial yearly salary of that software engineer. And you can make like 3 to 4K off of that, okay? So third step is I want you to watch this video. It's called How I'd Get My First Client in 2 Weeks, okay? Which is a step-by-step breakdown. I show you exactly how to scrape leads, how to personalize the exact platforms, and essentially it's like $0, right? So I don't think anyone on YouTube actually shows this just because it's practical and it's step-by-step, and this is essentially what I would do, okay? I also walked you through how to personalize even if you don't have any case studies, right? So watch this video and I'm going to link it in the description down below. Now, how much ROI you can actually expect if you do this? Well, if you send out just 2,000 emails and get a 2% reply rate, that's 40 replies. Now, let's just be conservative, right? Let's say only 15 emails of those are interested. And let's say just because you're just a beginner, or let's say you're not really good at sales. I'm not good at sales. I'm just average. Let's say you close 3 deals, okay? With each deal worth $2,000, you can charge from $1,500 to $2,000 all the way to $10,000. That's like $6,000 in revenue. Like what kind of client acquisition system you can use to make 6K of an initial investment of like $200? Virtually nothing. And it's definitely not platforms like Fiverr or like Upwork where you have to send out proposals for people to get you approved, right? So the beauty of this is that you can scale it by sending more emails. So you can get more replies, more interested leads, and eventually more deals. It's literally simple. It's like simple math. And you can repeat this every single month or week, whatever you'd like, okay? So it's math, it's leverage. And once it's built, it scales like crazy, okay? One of the most common questions that I get is, Saad, how did you scale like crazy? Well, the truth is because I stuck to one thing, okay? I stuck to one thing and one thing only. I wasn't chasing shiny tools. And I get daily emails of people, Saad, can you make videos about AI agents that do this? And I'm like, why would I do that? Like, I know, like, it's not going to make you any money. Like, it's just shiny ideas. Like, this idea that you need to be doing everything is complete bullshit. The worst place you can be in is the place of being interested or fascinated about the technology, but not actually profitable. Okay. So think about this. Like you need to really give that some thought. Okay. So I want you to stick to one thing. Okay. Don't chase any shiny tools. Don't try to be everywhere, do everything, or follow every single trend. And I'm going to quote one of the biggest billionaires on planet Earth, which is Warren Buffett. And what he said is, in order for you to become successful, you need to stay sane while others are crazy. And by crazy, I mean not following every single trend, right? Just sticking to the basics, having a very, very clear offer and something that actually moves the needle, right? Something that
solves real life problems, okay? So whenever you build out a system, always ask yourself, can this system actually get clients? If the answer is yes, then double down. If not, just throw it away. Okay. And this is exactly what I want you to do. Just because most entrepreneurs and freelancers that I talk to, they fail because they try to do too much. Right? You don't have to do too much, okay? Just go all in on one thing that actually works, something that's proven and reliable and consistent, right? Because you want to be doing this for a long time, right? I'm assuming you want to build an actual business, right? You don't want to build another 9 to 5. It's because essentially it's another 9 to 5. So I would rather actually work a 9 to 5 than rely on a platform where I'm juggling different projects and my income is like 2K this month, next month is like 0, just because there aren't many people who are asking for the services that I'm providing, okay? So you don't need 10 revenue streams, okay? You just need one that's predictable. Because trust me, all these successful entrepreneurs, they don't have 10 revenue streams, okay? And obviously, the man that chases many rabbits catches none. Okay, so this way is more reliable and sustainable than chasing low-cost gigs on Fiverr or like Upwork or whatever platform. Okay, so you're not pitching endlessly on job boards. You're not competing with 100 lowballers. And I mean, if I go to Upwork right now, there are gigs of literally $20. And if you use sales systems, you can essentially sell the same thing for about 3K, which is absolutely nuts. Okay? So again, you're not waiting to be picked. You actually pick who you want to talk to, who you want to reach out to, and you do that at scale. Okay? I can literally target startups who recently just raise the funding. That means they have money. I can just pitch them a sales system that's going to enable them to connect with long-term partners. And I can essentially earn like 20-30% of their average deal, right? Which is something way more profitable and way more scalable and reliable. So you're not building someone else's platform. You're building your own pipeline, and that's how you win. So final thoughts, you need to make a commitment to yourself. And I'm going to quote one of the greatest psychologists of all time, Carl Gustav Jung, which is basically a psychiatrist. And he said, in order for you to become who you want to be, you need to destroy the current identity and build a new one. So you need to destroy that glorified freelancer identity, okay? Because this is essentially what I've done. And this is exactly what enabled me to actually crush my entire competition and dominate sales systems, okay? That version of you, the one that's chasing clients, refreshing job boards, checking your emails every single 5 seconds, hoping to get picked, this version will not survive in the next chapter because that identity is costing you your future. And the new identity is someone who owns their client acquisition, doesn't have to be begging for clients to pick them. They build systems that they can control and they can create their own pipeline and print their own opportunities. And it's not even just about making money. It's about taking control of your time, your income, and your future.
All right, you've got everything you need now. I just gave you the fastest way to go from nothing, a system that actually works, and one that's helped hundreds of people I know go from stressed, broke, having an unpredictable income to living the life that they want. If you got any questions about this, just drop them in the comments down below. I read every single one of them and more than happy to help. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.